Hello, YouTubers. Hello, IELTS candidates. Welcome again to my YouTube channel. This is going to be my second video here on YouTube, and I hope that you learned something from my talk today. So today what I want to do is simply to share to you how you will be graded in your writing task in IELTS. Okay, so as you may already know, there are two tasks in IELTS. Task 1 and Task 2. Now, in Task 1, academic, you're supposed to write a report, and what you see right now, is the public band descriptor for Task 1. So, in other words, these are the criteria for assessing you in your writing Task 1. All right, so usually I focus on the criteria for Band 7 because a lot of my students, especially nowadays, are nurses going to Australia, UK, Canada, US, and one thing that's common to them is that they usually aim for the band 7. So I'm going to focus on that today. All right, so as you can see here, you have the 9 band scale, okay, 0 to 9, and this is 7. There are 4 criteria for uh, marking you, all right, in your task. Task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. Now, let's take a closer look. So in Band 7, you're supposed to cover all the requirements of the task, which means that you have to write at least 150 words. If you write less, then you will be penalized for it. Okay, less means 149 and down, right? Okay, also you need to, of course, paraphrase the task, give an overview, and so on and so forth. Okay, specifically for academic, you're supposed to present a clear overview of main trends, differences, or stages. Okay, this is not for you. This is not for nurses. This is for general training, usually skilled workers or students. Okay, so let's skip that. And the third bullet is you should clearly present and highlight key features and bullet points. But this could be more fully extended. Okay. Now next is coherence and cohesion. So you should logically organize information and ideas. There is a clear progression throughout. Uses a range of cohesive devices appropriately. Take note of the word appropriately here, although there may be some under or overuse. So here, paragraphing is very important, and your choice of transitional devices, conjunctions, transitional words, okay, are all important under coherence and cohesion. So third, we have lexical resource or vocabulary. Here you should use a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. You should use less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. May produce occasional errors in word choice, spelling, and/or word formation. Take note of the word occasional. So if you make a lot of minor errors, for instance, all throughout your essay, then you're not going to get a 7 in this category. Okay. And then lastly, grammatical range and accuracy. So specifically, it asks that you use a variety of complex structures. So as much as possible, try to avoid writing in simple and compound sentences. If you don't remember your structures anymore, okay, I'm sure that if you speak English or can write in English, then probably you have studied it in the past, in high school or college. So go back to your lessons on grammar and learn what are complex structures and how do you come up with them. You should also produce frequent error-free sentences. I should say maybe about 70 to 80% your essay should be error-free. Error-free in terms of the use of, let's say, articles, uh, subject-verb agreement, spelling, and so on. Okay, although of course spelling usually falls under lexical resource. And then finally, you should have good control of grammar and punctuation, but may make a few errors. All right. A lot of my students have forgotten how to use the full stops or periods as well as the commas. So I would also recommend that you go back to your lessons on these two particular punctuation marks just to help you improve on grammatical range and accuracy. Okay, so that's for writing task 1. Let's go to the band descriptor for task 2. So this again is a public descriptor, all right, public version of writing task 2, and basically there are the same uh, criteria, okay, but the difference is that instead of task fulfillment or task achievement, we have task response in task 2. We also have coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and GRA or grammatical range and accuracy. So again, I'd like to focus on band 7. Okay, a lot of my students are nurses and their scores fall between 5 to 6 or a little above 6, 6.5. And a lot of them are aiming for 7. So how to get a 7? Consider task response. You should address all parts of the task. So if you don't address a part of it, or maybe you failed to discuss maybe one of the questions in a two question task, okay, then you'll be penalized for under task response, and instead of 7 you might be awarded 5 or 6. Should also present a clear position throughout the response. So if you agree in your introduction and in the body, make sure that you also agree or repeat your agreement in the conclusion. Okay, as an example, should also present and extend support main ideas, but there may be a tendency to overgeneralize and or supporting ideas may lack focus. So make sure that there is one focus on your response. Okay. Coherence and cohesion. You should logically organize information and ideas. There is a clear progression throughout. Uses a range of cohesive devices appropriately, although there may be some under overuse. You should present a clear central topic within each paragraph. Okay. Uh, this means that you should have a topic sentence at the beginning of the paragraph. If not, then at least all your sentences should be united and should talk about one main topic. For instance, if the paragraph is all about advantages, then your explanation and examples or evidence should be focusing on that advantage. If it's about, for instance, solutions to a problem, then be sure that your explanation as well as examples and evidence all also support that solution. Okay, lexical resource, on the other hand, for band 7, here you should use a sufficient range of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. Uses less common lexical items with some awareness of style and collocation. You may also produce occasional errors in word choice, spelling, and word formation. But then again, take note of the word occasional. Alright. And then lastly, grammatical range and accuracy uses a variety of complex structures. So take note, again, you are supposed to come up with complex sentences. Alright? Complex sentences are sentences that uses, for instance, subordinate conjunctions or conjunctive adverbs, okay, and more. So if you don't know how to write complex sentences, well, that's easy. Simply Google them, all right? Google them and find out how do you come up with complex sentences. And then, of course, you also need to produce frequent error-free sentences. Okay. So if you're not sure about your grammar anymore, you may have a teacher like me or any teacher who's good in grammar, okay, or an English teacher to give you feedback on your grammar, okay. And then lastly, has good control of grammar and punctuation but may make a few errors. So punctuation is mentioned again, and take note of the word few errors. So if you make a lot of them, you need to work on that so that you can get a band 7 at least or higher. So that's it for today. It's just something that I wanted to um, share to you today. Of course, before you move on with your preparation for IELTS, you have to know about the basics, like how you will be graded in your writing tasks. And teachers as well can learn from this because, um, well, as teachers, you need to know how to mark your students' essays. So feel free to message me. My website is www.youronlineieltshelp.com. Initially, I came up with this to, well, for my own purposes. Okay, I want to post things online that I can share to my students. Okay, for instance, here on my website, you can see a tool that you can use, a simple outline to help you with your time management, how to write and how to plan and write IELTS, your uh, your IELTS essay, sorry, in 40 minutes. So this is by me, your online IELTS tutor. There isn't much yet that is on my website, so keep uh, yeah, stay tuned because I plan to post more. Something that's going to be helpful for both students and teachers. Okay, so thank you very much for staying with me and bye for now.